Hello everyone, welcome for my new diary. The last diary before the update 5, a game-changing update that will be released tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. Last time I did a diary, I was trying a new build and trying to get rid of the staffs that every caster and healer are using. So I wanted to be more original, I wanted to explore something different, and I tried to construct a build around the shield and sword skill line. Or not the skill line, but that was my weapon. And it worked kinda well, but it was a bit weird. And so you give me, guys, a lot of suggestions, and I thank you for that, because I explored a lot of them and I actually adopted some of them, and I'm very happy about the results. So continue to give me your feedback, because I'm listening and I'm trying what you suggest to me. So this time, what happened since the last time I played, or I made a video, I mean. I'm veteran rank 1 and this time it's true, and to celebrate this, you know, when I'm leveling I enjoy to make myself some new gear. So this time I crafted myself very nice gear. I will show you this immediately, and I decided for two different sets. The first set is the manu set, which gave me some nicest bonus as caster. First, 64 max magicka, 8 magicka recovery, and 6 spell damage when I'm using my shield, because of the shield actually, and the sword. Because of the sword and the shield, I can have 4 items with the manu set. When I'm using the staff, as I have just 1 item, I only have 3 items, but it doesn't matter because it's my healing skill line, so I do not need to have 6 spell damage for that one. The other set is the Willow's Pass, which added me 63 max magicka, 4% spell critical, 8 health recovery. No one will speed on that, especially not while questing. And the super bonus, the cherry on the cake, increase all regeneration in combat by 50%, which is ideal for the build I'm making, as I'm using a lot of magicka with my spells, but also some stamina to block, to dodge, and to bash, and for some abilities. And also I need some health regeneration, as I'm light wear armor and I'm going in melee. It's sort of my only protection. Now let's speak a little bit about fashion. I'm wearing a very beautiful and gorgeous orc dress. I was surprised to see that the orc style was so beautiful, and with the combination of dyes I've chosen, I find it very, very pretty. I don't know what you think about it. I have Khajiit Spolder, Breton gloves and Breton shoes, a Khajiit belt to remind the theme of the moon, and my restoration staff is of course a Khajiit staff, because I really like the mood theme. Let's see the sword and the shield. The sword had been crafted by a guildie, as I'm not a blacksmith. It's a red guard sword with a very nice curve, and a Khajiit shield, of course. Now concerning my build, let's see what I've done. It's very important to note that there's a difference between my build when I'm questing and when I'm going into a dungeon as healer. It's not the same thing, of course. And at the moment I'm in Cold Harbor, so I'm very happy to use some spell against Daedra. I'm using 2 abilities from the Fighter Guild. So first, the line that goes with the shield and the sword, I'm using Reflective Light and Solar Barrage, which are my two AoE DPS spells, two spells I'm using all the time. And then you have this Radiant Aura, which is extremely useful as it increases my stamina and my health regeneration, so I'm using it all the time. And it's very useful as there's a lot of movement in my build and I'm blocking and bashing. I'm using quite a lot of stamina while not having focused my gear on stamina regeneration or max stamina. So I need that. Also, in an instance with other players, even if there's a lot of Templar playing with me, they generally do not have that particular spells. And stamina and health regeneration is useful for everyone. I'm of course still using the Inner Light, which adds some critical damage, and I'm using Shield Charge, and this is one of my two movement spells that I'm using. Now, one suggestion from a lot of you was to use this Empowering Sweep as ultimate, and I must say that was the best suggestion because it's super fun and super useful. So this ultimate is a great AoE strike with a sort of light spear, so it's a kind of melee with a long range attack, and for my build and for my role it's very useful as I'm not standing in the same place. I'm not a tank, I have light armor even if I have a shield, but I'm using this to finish some mobs or whatever, and it's recharged all the time, so I can use it very often. It's really part of the DPS of my build. And even in a dungeon I'm using it all the time to help the group to DPS. It's very nice. It allows me to still keep some distance, so it's cool for that. Now the staff skill, the staff bar, sorry, I'm using Breath of Life as my bread and butter heal. When I'm questing, I'm using Silver Shards and Ring of Preservation as it helped me against Daedra. In Cold Harbor is quite useful, of course the Inner Light, and Toppling Charge. So someone suggested me to change the morphing, so I did that, and with this morphing I'm actually stunning the people. In a dungeon I really like this because it allows me to go back and forth against mobs and interrupt their spells and stunning them. It's really fun, it gives a lot of movement to my builds, and I think it's quite useful. For healing, I have tested this build in two conditions. The first was the Undaunted quest I tried on the PTS with some friends, so we were only 3 players and the content was quite easy. It was something I've reported to Zenimax actually because I find it too easy. But anyway, that's not the discussion of today. So my build, as it was good enough to heal the group. So basically, I'm dropping Ring of Preservation for protection, which use stamina. So even if I'm low in Magicka, I can use that. And Cleansing Ritual. It doesn't heal a lot, but it removes the bad effects. There's a synergy that other players can use. But it still heal a little bit for 61 every 2 seconds during 12 seconds. The AoE is very, very large, so that's also the interest of that spell. My bread and butter spells, as I said earlier, it's Breath of Life, which I'm using only for healing. And I'm using all the time the Radiant Aura. So what I'm actually doing in a dungeon like this, I'm dropping my 2 AoE healing sort of protection spells. I'm starting to DPS. I'm casting Radiant Aura all the time and Empowering Sweep. And if I need, I cast Breath of Life for healing. And if I'm really low in Magicka, then I'm using the heavy attack of the staff. But I could even be with the shields. So this worked well in this condition, in this easy dungeon. Now I tried to heal as well as in a more difficult dungeon, and in the City of Ash Veteran 14 and that was not enough. So I don't know if it's not enough because I'm not comfortable with and I do not masterize yet the build, or if the spells are just not enough. So my other healing build, so when I really need to heal at all time, is looking like this. I'm using Breath of Life, Blessing of Protection. I replace the Ring of Protection from the Fighter Guild by Rapid Regeneration from the Restoration Staff, still Inner Light of course, and my Toppling Charge I replace it by Ward Alley. I still have one movement, which is the Shield Shard on the other line, on the other bar, so it allows me less movement, but if I'm fully healing I need to keep my distance. I cannot be as much in the melee. I'm using Cleansing Ritual instead of my other AoE spell, and of course still Radiant Aura. So this is still something I'm exploring. My goal is to get rid of as much healing spell as possible and to focus on what's really important, but I need more testing for that in different conditions. But basically with this build as a base I can change some spells, and I have something that's worked very well in an easy dungeon where I can DPS a lot and still be the main healer, and in a more difficult dungeon where I have to be healing all the time. It's also a build that's very fun because of the movement. It's a lot more active than the staff user builds. I have more the feeling to be part of the fights, and I find it very exciting. It's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can still give me your feedback and your comments. I always enjoy to read them. And I wish you a great day. See you next time. Bye bye.